Forza Horizon 4, the fourth entry to an amazing series. Does it live up to the greatness of the previous games? Not really. Horizon 4 is a game that is good on the surface level, but isn't good enough when being put in comparison to its predecessors. For what it was, it provided a decent Forza experience, but it lacks the Horizon flair. Today I will discuss why this wasn't the extra cherry on the top, why Forza Horizon 4 was a disappointment.
Here's what I see. I see a festival that never ends, where you can be whatever you want to be. It's not your dream holiday anymore. It's your dream life. That's the horizon I see. Let me show you. Welcome to autumn, a new beginning for the festival that never ends. Don't go anywhere. Horizon is here to stay.
Now I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is a top tier introduction. It's on par with Horizon 2's. It outstandingly captivates the Horizon feeling. The speech Kira gives is major goosebumps, in which that speech leads to a first drive in the McLaren Senna during the fall season. Afterwards, you take a racing truck down the rivers in winter, leading to the Fiesta rally car drive against dirt bikers in spring, and finally the great race to the festival in the Senna again during summer. What an amazing opening. Now this entry takes place in Europe like Horizon 2, the country being the United Kingdom, Great Britain. The southern side of it though, so no London. Still salty about that, by the way. Anyway, this map is not that crazy really. It's alright. And that's all I can really say about it, honestly. Nothing really stands out here. The festival is good, I guess. Edinburgh is cool. But this map doesn't wow me as much as the previous games do. You know what I mean? When I hop on Horizon 1, 2, and 3 after a while, I can't stop balding at how good those maps were. When I hop on Horizon 4 after a while, I'm reminded of how this map didn't have very much to offer. The locations in this map are okay. I do like most of the play on games areas, but there isn't even an airport on this map. Actually, never mind, there's technically one, but it's an abandoned piece of crap. The highway is so short that calling it a highway isn't appropriate. It's more of a drag strip. Literally everyone drag races on there in free roam, and there's even a dedicated drag race there as well. So yeah, ultimately this map isn't very great. It's well designed, but every other Horizon map is well designed, so that's not saying much. In terms of diversity, the map is lacking. This map really relies on the seasons to fill in that void, though aesthetically it's pretty accurate to its real life counterpart. So all in all, it's a decent map as is, but it's painfully average when sat next to the maps from the previous games. The vibe of Horizon 4 is fairly similar to Horizon 2, but less prominent. It prevents a calm, chill vibe to it without the luxurious feeling that Horizon 2 has. And that's okay, but my problem with this whole vibe is that there is a clear disconnect with the overall festival feel. Part of that reason has to do with the map not being very great, but another reason is the soundtrack. The soundtrack in this game is okay overall. There are some good tracks in it in most of the radio stations, but there aren't enough bangers to call this a good soundtrack in my opinion. Horizon 1, 2, and 3 were all great soundtracks, so great that I could listen to every single song without feeling the urge to skip a couple. Horizon 4 has this problem. Most of the songs aren't it in my opinion, though the good songs are really good for the most part. The gameplay and progression in this game is very one-sided towards the casual players. Horizon 3 hinted at this progressive style, offering a sandbox style instead of the traditional style the first two games offered, though it still gave the hardcore players something to enjoy while progressing through it. Horizon 4 doesn't. Now before I critique the system, let's talk about your goals within this game. Right after the intro of the game, you start in summer as you pick a character of your choice. Afterwards, you're directed to choose your first car, choices being the Ford Focus RS, Audi TT, and the Dodge Charger. Fairly decent starter cars, honestly. So basically, you go through all 4 seasons within this game as an underdog to get to the Horizon roster, which is the end goal. You start in summer and end in spring. How you get to the Horizon roster is by obtaining a ton of influence. Influence is the XP equivalent in this game, so they changed the name of it. I don't know why they did that. You gain influence by simply playing the game, so doing events, earning skill points, and PR stunts is what you can do to essentially gain influence. So you essentially gain influence by doing anything really. You'll be informed of how much influence you need to move on to the next season via completing events, checking the map, and doing anything that earns you a good amount of influence. When getting enough influence to move on to the next season, you can go to the festival whenever you like to move on to it. Now, throughout the game, you'll be introduced to new events into the series you can partake in, things like the Horizon Stories, where you drive a lone car to do a challenge the game gives you to do. These events essentially replace the bucket list from Horizon 2 and 3. Doing your best is key, as getting 3 stars is your goal, like the PR stunts. Within this game, there are different categories of race types: normal road races, street races, dirt races, off-road races, and obviously your showcase events, all of which have their own individual level system, where you get many rewards such as more events, credits, real spins, and even cars. Getting to level 10 for most, if not all, of these race types will unlock you the final race of that race type. And getting to level 20 on the road race event specifically will unlock you the Goliath. On top of that, there are levels to a ton of other things in this game. A lot of general stuff. Things like car collector, and a ton more I can't think off the top of my head. The perk system that was in Horizon 2 and 3 are back in this game, but different. Instead of being a general thing, it's now an individual car thing. Every single car got their own perks. I don't know why they changed this, to be honest. Not even duplicates share their perks you gave to one of them, so they don't carry over. Real spins make a return with buff stats, as well as super real spins, in which you get 3 items in one. Yeah. On top of that, the car giving I talked about in my Horizon 3 review, where the game gives you free cars in the message center, well, Horizon 4 takes that up a notch, giving a ton more free cars. So within the first hour, you could possibly have a high-end car of sorts. The end goal is, well, the Horizon roster, which is essentially you being put in the current season everyone's gonna be in, as every season rotates from one another every week, as well as having access to doing all the game's features offline and online. When getting enough influence to enter, there's no final event you gotta do, you just hop in the festival and you simply made it to the Horizon roster. The final event race types, like the Goliath for example, the perfect final race you can possibly do, like it's literally a perfect final race. You're not required to do it to get to the Horizon roster. You simply just gain enough influence, and once you do that, you can literally get in there. You get in there just like that. So all in all, the progression this game offers is not good at all. It doesn't feel rewarding getting new cars. Super easy to earn credits and cars due to the real spins, super real spins, and excessive car giving. Walking through this campaign is very artificial. Makes you feel nothing. There's no end goal event at all, and it doesn't provide any motivation to 100% completing it either. The system just makes you want to get to the Horizon roster as fast as possible for the wrong reasons. Not because you're enjoying it, wanting to accomplish getting to the roster, but because you want to get out of it feeling quite bored. The Horizon roster is essentially where everyone's gonna be, so when you're on your way to get there, it feels dead, like you're locked in prison. That's why I felt like when I started playing it when it dropped. It just doesn't give anything for the hardcore side to enjoy. Your only favorites are casuals, and it doesn't get any better from here. The multiplayer has been revamped to an inferior version of what we had previously. Essentially, every free roam session is public, able to contain 75 players within one server. That being said, you can no longer have private sessions. So I guess you can say that the experience will be better due to finding all kinds of people while cruising around and such. And that is true to a certain extent. However, this system I believe made the servers unstable. At times it's a struggle to invite your friends to your session, and whenever you complete an event with your friends, it sometimes disconnects you or your friends from the server, so you have to invite each other back most of the time. It's just not a smooth experience ever. This game made me not really create looking for group posts on Xbox anymore due to the performance of these servers. Otherwise, playing with your friends is fun when the servers work. The areas for the play on games are fairly decent. I enjoyed my time playing Affected, King, and Flag Rush with friends. They also introduced team modes for these as well, so Survival, Team King, and Team Flag Rush. In terms of other modes you can play outside of free roam are adventure playlists such as Team Races, Team Games, Free-for-all Racing, Custom Adventure, and Drift Adventure. So these are all PvP modes, as well as ranked versions of these which offer many rewards when competing well in them. So there are more options you can do than the previous entries. But all in all, this multiplayer is not in all bad, as there are more things to do, though the overall experience isn't up par as the servers aren't the best. Overall, Forza Horizon 4 is a decent enough entry to the series. It provides a good experience, but it fails to captivate the charm the previous 3 games had. With this okay map, okay soundtrack, poor progression, and decent online, it's an overall letdown. That's why Forza Horizon 4 was a disappointment. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys can like, share with other people, make as much people watch this video. I spent a lot of time on it. I also made a review on Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Horizon 3, so if you guys want to see that, links are in the description for you to go and watch them. And next is Horizon 5, man, and after that, I actually don't know what we're gonna be doing. The Need for Speed reviews are gonna be coming, but I don't know when I'm gonna start them. I'm gonna start them soon, maybe later this year, but they will come soon. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. Have a great one.